My name is Raihan Islam. I'm a co-organizer at Everything Will Be Ukraine, which is supported by the King's College London Pro Bono Society, and we'll say more about what Everything Will Be Ukraine does later in this discussion. But first, I want to introduce my two wonderful guests. We have Andrei Chernousov. He's a legal advisor and humanitarian response manager at Voices of Children in Ukraine. He's a lawyer and PhD in sociology. We also have Ben Grzimek, law partner at Field Fisher in Germany and humanitarian aid volunteer, who we interviewed back in February, just before the 1 year marking the wide-scale invasion into Ukraine by the aggressor state. If you could describe to us the situation you and Voices of Children, the team, have seen on the ground in Ukraine, especially relating to how it's impacting children. For example, what sort of needs have they had as a result of different attacks since before 2022 and today?
I think the problems was the same. The problems were the same. And the main problem was access to appropriate education and protection their right to life. Because when the foundation worked in only in Donetsk and Luhansk region near the front line since 2014, numbers were much lower. So we were talking about, 3 dozens or 4 dozens of children working in different locations with psychologists provided by the foundation. And since the full-scale invasion, we are talking about millions of children who needs these stabilization activities, because people, families with children, they are, they had never met the challenge of war before. If we're talking about the greater Ukraine, if we're talking about Kiev, Chernihiv, Kharkiv, and other big cities. So it was a very stressful situation for families.
What would you tell those individuals who are outside of Ukraine or who are not experiencing what's happening in Ukraine? What can they do to help the causes that you're supporting?
I would like to say my words of gratitude to all the people of Europe supporting Ukraine, to British people, to people all around Ukraine, and in the United States, across the ocean, all over the world, supporting us, providing military support, humanitarian support, providing what I say, just human support. When you are traveling around Europe, you would probably see huge number of Ukrainian flags being waved on different administrative and private buildings all across Europe, and this is really touching, and this is absolutely helpful and needed.
Everything Will Be Ukraine features Voices of Children as one of a number of reputable organizations doing good for Ukraine during this serious time of need. What are ways that Voices of Children could collaborate further to amplify the right messages for the right audiences? Would it help to have more volunteering support from within countries such as the United Kingdom and the United States? I know that you had mentioned that there is volunteering support outside, and so I'm mentioning this question because I wanted to note that with Everything Will Be Ukraine as an initiative, I would do, along with our volunteers, whatever is possible to help strengthen the message of your organization and its mission and purpose, because they're incredibly important for the future of Ukraine. What would you say in terms of that type of collaboration and support? Is that something that is of interest to Voices of Children? How do you all currently build partnerships?
So nowadays it's we have a nearest example. We are cooperating with Ben. So Ben even established his own organization in Germany. Is he also helping us right now to register our organization in Germany? So because we feel that we are our Ukrainians, because, for instance, Germany, I think the second biggest country to host Ukrainian refugees, and we had a hotline. We are receiving huge number of calls from teenagers being relocated to Europe, and so they feel, let's say, not good, because many of them are facing problems with adaptation in European context, in European communities, and of course they need support. And one of the most important reasons for registering organization in Germany is to arrange this psychological support and services for Ukrainians in Germany as well, and of course to help to collect donation and establish partnerships with European organizations in this. So what we are doing, for instance, now we are thinking together with Ben to continue supporting different IDPs initiatives in Kharkiv, for instance. We had renovated and opened a room for psychological support and a playing room in one of the dormitories, hosting IDPs from Kupiansk and Izium districts in Kharkiv region. So they were relocated to this dormitory, which belongs to the Kharkiv National University, who is the partner of the foundation. And so when we started, we see only children, and Ben, thanks to him, he is also emphasizing the importance of supporting adults and parents, because many adults and parents are disorientated, and they have, of course, influence with the war. Many of them, they have addictions. So and of course these addictions are become heavier and heavier during the wartime, and we decided to pay more attention for parents' adaptation, because at some stage we understand that many of these families, they have no place to return. All their houses are destroyed and bombed, and they will remain there, I think, for years, and we should think about arranging their everyday life better, because they could not just live with humanitarian sets distributed by different humanitarian organizations. They have to cook their meals. They have to have regular lives that they had before. So the idea is now to arrange, for instance, cooking facilities in these dormitories, because they are in not satisfactory conditions, and some of them even lacking place to cook their meal. And of course, we are also joining to many infrastructure initiatives. For the moment, we have finalized renovation and reconstruction of 4 bomb shelters, and one is on the way. Totally, it will be 5 bomb shelters in Chernousov region, in schools and kindergartens, which will allow to arrange offline learning, which is extremely important for people living in deoccupied communities. And we also now having a huge initiative for installing playgrounds in deoccupied communities and communities near the front line, because children and the families who had no opportunities to relocate, they have different reasons, but still they are staying in their native communities. The services, schools, social institutions, they are not functioning properly, and so we have to support them at these dark times to restart their activities, and doing this in a bit another way. So these are, and of course our main activity and the partnership together with local communities is starting psychological support for children suffered of the war. So these are more or less all direction of our where we are seeking partnership and cooperation.
To you, Ben. So since we last met, aside from what you have shared already today, would you have anything additional that you'd like to share with the audience about what you're doing?
Well, I think I can confirm what Andrew said about providing necessary means to improve the environment for children, not only give them food and psychological therapy, but also enabling their families to live a life that the children feel safe and with a proper family environment. And my organization is also helping with that. As Andrew mentioned, there is this attempt to enable the families in the shelters to have a more normal life. And there are other initiatives. I would like to actually repeat what I said in my last interview with you. Everything helps, and that's what every Ukrainian contact tells me. Not only the symbolical support with the flag waving and other gestures, but actually bringing donations to Ukraine. There are a lot of volunteers who know where these should go, and there are not enough people who bring these donations, and the help should not be delegated to the large organizations who do a great job as well. But as long as this goes on, and it is going on, and the damages will be felt for many years, I'm afraid, any support helps. So that's I think the message.
Thank you, Ben.